IKIM FM, inspirasi utama anda. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all dear listeners of IKIM FM. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hello Brother Roger. Got any questions about Islam? Just ask Brother Roger. I'm your host Mohd Erfino. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for listening to us from wherever you are. Either you are listening to this through radio or even through our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube. And as usual, I would like to introduce the man of the show himself, Brother Roger. Assalamualaikum, Brother Roger.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. How are you guys today from people who are listening all over Malaysia, right?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. How are you, sister?
I'm doing great. How about you, Brother Roger?
Okay. Oh my goodness. It's been like a crazy week.
Right.
A crazy month because Ramadan is coming, right?
In a few more weeks.
Yeah. No,
Mashallah.
not few. 2 weeks
2
actually.
weeks. 2 weeks. 2
The
weeks.
question is, are we ready, right? Allahu Akbar.
Oh my God,
And,
you feel nervous, right?
yeah,
I
I
feel
mean,
nervous in getting into the month of Ramadan.
I'm actually not nervous, of course, but at the same time, I'm so excited because this is my 12th year.
12 years.
Yeah, my 12th year as a Muslim and celebrating Ramadan. So it's really exciting for me, actually.
MashaAllah.
At the same time, of course, Ramadan, as I always say, Ramadan is a month that will increase our iman.
Yes.
And that's what I think we all should be looking forward for.
Take this golden opportunity.
Yes,
I
yes.
would
Do
say.
not. This year, probably last year, you do whatever that you didn't fulfill your Ramadan. This year, we try our best to be, best of iman during Ramadan and follow everything. Probably last year you fast half. This year, please continue.
Yeah.
Because I know. I'm not just talking to our reverts, but overall. I'm not judging anyone, but with only you and Allah knows, right?
Yes.
So this year we try to increase our whatever we are doing, just for the sake of Allah, because as I said to most of my brothers and sisters, that there are people that I see even today, this couple of weeks, they are just been brought by Allah. They've just been taken away from this dunya. Inna lillahi rajiun. But may Allah accept and may Allah grant them Firdaus Jannah. But this is what we have to understand. If Allah has brought us to Ramadan, then we should be saying Alhamdulillah and fulfill the full things or all the things in Ramadan as a ibadah for us.
Yes.
And
To
inshallah.
be chosen to be one of Ramadan.
Yes. It's not that, you're just going into Ramadan and, it's going to come again next year. How sure are you?
Yeah.
Right? How
it might be
sure?
our last Ramadan.
Yeah, it could be your last Ramadan, right? So do your best in this Ramadan. The best that Allah will accept. Yeah,
Yes.
inshallah. Allahu alam. So what have we got today, sister?
We will continue answering questions that we got from our listeners.
Okay.
So this one we got through WhatsApp, and this person asked, how important is it for a new revert to be part of a supportive community?
Okay. I think it's a very good question.
Yeah.
And just to answer this person, I will also, summarize it. Why is it important? Of course, every new reverts, right? When they become a Muslim, some of them do not have any idea what is next.
Like what to do next?
Yeah.
Like now I got into Islam,
Yes.
so what to do now?
Yes, because in their mind, because you must understand, as I always talk about hidayah, right?
Yeah.
When someone gets the hidayah, it's like just boom, just comes to them.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Like when I got the hidayah, when I know some of our brothers and sisters that I brought them to Islam in the beginning years, and I know people that I've met as well, when they get the hidayah, right? It's just like, okay, I've got the hidayah, the excitement. Yes, I'm a Muslim
Mashallah.
today. Alhamdulillah. But then what is next? When they come out from the masjid, they will be thinking that, what should I do now? Am I alone?
Clueless,
And it's very, very important to have a supportive community that will be part of guiding them. to tell them what is next.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop there. Because being a Muslim does not, like, you become a Muslim and it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
There's more things. Actually, it's the beginning of your life. The real life.
It starts,
And for me too, it was the beginning of my real life to understand that the purpose why I've been created in this dunya. All this while I was thinking that I've been created like the normal people, like I've been created and one day I'm going to die and they're going to bury me. But in Islam, it's more than that.
It goes beyond the concept of after death.
Yes,
also, we have
because
life after death.
Yes. So that means that in this dunya, Allah has created us, and after being a Muslim, I understand this, that Allah has created us. There is more things for us to do. There is a purpose in your life that Allah has put upon you, that in after you have your ibadah, your increase of iman, your test that you go through, the rizki that Allah has given, everything of this, until when Allah is ready to bring you back, to welcome you back to meet Him, and after that, it's not the end. It's not the end. We are all let me tell you that we are all going to meet in Jannah. Yes, we are all going to be there. So this is what we are talking about. There is a purpose in life. Okay, so coming back to the question again, for me, it is very important. Why? Because the moment they come out, like for example, I'm sure when I'm talking about this, right, sister, there are people that I know probably who are listening today, would have met a revert or would have been part of this masjid, and then they announce that, okay, there's a brother coming to Islam today, we are going to Shahada, mashallah. You feel like, oh my Allah Akbar, I'm glad that I'm part of it. I'm glad after my Solat Isha or Solat Maghrib or Solat Zohor, there's someone accepting Islam. You're so excited, man.
Yeah.
So then you are part of the process of Shahada. Then you're so excited. You go and hug them. You probably hug them until probably the bone. You can feel their bone. Of course, this is only for a guy lah, girl lah.
Guy, girl.
Yeah, the sister. Please, okay. So once you've already hugged and everything, and that brother is so pumped up, so excited, I've got the hidayah, I feel so loved and so on, right? The moment he goes out of the masjid, there's no one I know, there's no one actually has to, or ever follow up with them. Do not have a supportive. That's why it's very important for you to have. Because what will happen, or potential to happen, if there is no supportive community, then this person will be as though he's living just the name of Islam, just mengucap dua kalimah syahadah, he just be a Muslim, but he don't know that, he doesn't know that, what to do.
What to do next.
And probably he just going back and doing everything what he was doing before, and for the sake of being a Muslim, it's just his name as a Muslim. And we could see that. We could see that. And that's what is happening.
Okay.
So that's why I always say it's not the job only with the Majlis Agama to do this, not only the job of the Zakat to do this, it's not only the job of the NGO to do this, it's actually every Muslim's responsibility. That Allah has put the person to you. Because you must understand, right? And I always say this, and I believe this. If someone comes to me, that means this is already Allah plan. It's a rizki.
Because planned by Allah.
Yes.
It's not coincidence.
No, it's not a coincidence. It is a plan by Allah. And it's a rizki actually. Because they could have gone anywhere in the world or any part of Malaysia to be a Muslim, but they actually came to your masjid. It's a rizki, What you're going to get. What do you mean by rizki? You dapat pahala. Right. You dapat pahala. You dapat, you dapat mungkin you boleh if you give him sedekah on that particular day or hadiah on that particular day, you dapat pahala for that. And then you will be counted part of in akhirat probably, when in the, in the judgment day, he saw you and, hey, this guy was there, he was there he hugged me. He was there to witness my shahada, So we wouldn't know that, that time was so important. So it's a rizki, right?
And especially particularly if you teach that new Revert professional people
Exactly.
like how to perform solar, for example,
Exactly.
encouraging them to fast.
Correct,
So
correct,
imagine
correct,
if when
correct,
they
correct.
do the rituals, right, do the practice.
So
MashaAllah.
that's why we have to have a supportive team. So this person could be anyone,
Yeah.
all right, that should be following up. Okay, if we become a Muslim, for example, someone become a Muslim in my organization,
Yeah.
we do not leave them. The first thing that I do, I always tell this to my people who are involved with me, who are in my organization, there is one particular person who will call the person the next day or that particular day to welcome them to Islam.
MashaAllah.
You know, just calling them and saying them, welcome to Islam, my dear brother. You know, that feeling of MashaAllah. You know, you're actually putting Islam, memartabatkan.
Yeah.
That means you're actually bringing it like, wow, there's someone who called me and say, welcome to Islam. You know, and then of course the next process is to find out certain things about him.
Yes.
And then we also bring him, make sure that he learns the faith, that he comes to pray with us. We make sure that he understands about Fardu Ain and
Yes.
so on. So when you talk about supportive itself, right, there's a few things you need to understand.
Okay.
The first thing, it could be on the basis of the faith, the Iman. He will be tested.
Okay.
That needs support.
Yes.
Why need support? Because there must be someone who should be with him during his test. And the first 6 months, the test is really bad,
The first 6 months.
very bad.
I see.
That because when you become a Muslim and your family knows this, they are immediately, most of them, they immediately, you know, they probably abandon you. They have no nuts. They don't want to have anything whatsoever to do with you. That is already emotionally drained.
Okay.
You know, they don't want to have, okay, in worst case scenario, they will try to harm you. Yes, this has happened many
Experienced
times.
that before.
Many times. I've experienced this. That's why we have a rumah transit and we have a rumah perlindungan. This rumah perlindungan, we do not tell people where are they.
Yeah, for
You
the
know,
safety.
just for a temporary until things calm down.
Okay.
You know, so okay, of course, on the iman they are tested, right? And also they are tested in their job and their financial as well. You know, that's why zakat. You know, and people who come to Islam with us, we do not talk about zakat unless we know they have been tested.
Okay.
You know, and of course they need these two support. And iman here means that, you know, like you need to bring them closer for them to understand that the process of istiqomah. For example, normally in my place, for example, if it's a brother who become a Muslim, so we will encourage him to stay with us. We have a rumah transit for at least a month.
At least a month.
At least a month, stay with us so that he can go get used to the way of, you know, Islam.
Islamic life.
You know, to change his life to be a Muslim.
Yes.
You know, so every morning we'll wake him. Of course, there are times that he's, you know, because he's not used to it.
Yeah.
Right? So we cannot put hard, you know, we cannot just pressure
Because
this
it is
guy.
something new for them.
Yeah, very much. And some of them are like 40 years old, right? Imagine they are 40 years old. They don't know about Islam and they become a Muslim. Alhamdulillah. Right? So the best way to teach our brothers and sisters to support them is to always sampaikan. Always tell them,
Yeah.
you know, and there are times when when I do things as well, there were times I wish I can drag them. You know, there were times that I wish that I could just drag them. I could just pull them out. Hey, let's go masjid. You know, but you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that. So the supportive system, sister, is very important. I'll tell you one scenario. I'm not going to mention anything, but this is the worst scenario I've met.
Okay.
There was this couple who became a Muslim. All right,
Okay.
this happened in Malaysia. I'm just giving this as an example.
This
So
example.
don't quote me on that, right?
Okay.
Okay. This this is a true story I'm talking about, right? Which I've handled before.
Okay.
So this couple become a Muslim in one of the states in Malaysia, and what happened to this couple is that they became a Muslim. They went back home, and the parents rejected them, asked them to get out of the house.
Oh.
This husband and wife, you know.
Okay.
So they went and told to the parents that they became a Muslim and they will not pray anything else except for Allah. The first day they became a Muslim, they went back home and the family chased them out. just upright chased them out. So they didn't have anything. They took back whatever car, whatever transport, took back all the money they gave.
Okay.
Everything they took, So and then what happened is that they've gone to that. They've been chased out, right, sister? So once they've been chased out, what happened is that they start like going around to find places to stay, food and so on. So they were so disappointed. So they went to one of the local masjid. All right, they went to one of this place masjid.
Okay.
And my intention is not to say that we are bad or whatsoever, right? I'm just giving you the real life story.
Real story.
And when they went there, probably they are not used to seeing mualaf, probably.
Yeah.
And the masjid also said like, we cannot help you. You cannot sleep here. We cannot help you. So they just let them out. So they just asked them to get out of the place, So they just went. They cannot sleep there. So the husband and wife, what they did, they actually slept in the bus stop.
Bus stop.
They slept in a bus stop.
For how many days?
And for a couple of days. They don't know what to do. They were lost because they just became a Muslim. So they wanted help. They need a support, but no one is to support them.
Okay.
Then what happened, sister? One brother passed by, who is, I should quote this, which is probably not yet Muslim brother. So he passed by and he thought that, that this person, what is happening to them. So they just helped on humanitarian grounds. Went and spoke to them, brought them back, gave them a house immediately, gave them a house, gave them food and so on. And the story ends is that end of the day, today the wife is dead. I'm not going to tell you what actually happened.
Okay.
But end of the day, the end story today is the husband is no longer a practicing Muslim. In fact, he's already after being a Muslim as well, he is now not a Muslim, all right? He's not practicing Muslim, Islam. And he is actually a priest of a different place, which is Penyembahan. Okay, so he's a priest in that sense, all right? I'm just going to say this. Don't quote me on that, all right? Why I'm telling you guys this is because, because of the lack of supportive system. There isn't any support that someone who became a Muslim and not been supported, not been guided, they could, consider they are basically like a baby who you just trend it out. You just let it out and just it's up to you lah. What you want to do, you do lah. Just let it out. So what do you think the baby will do? Yeah, the baby is going to crawl, drop, fall, probably, probably not even
in a dangerous situation.
Exactly. And then that actually happened to this couple. And the wife passed away. And the wife passed away, there's a reason behind it. The wife passed away due to some illnesses, was due to whatever they went through. So this is why it is important to have a supportive system. And today, most of the NGOs, they have it. I could tell you that. Upfront, I could tell you most of the NGOs have it. But what different do we do is that we make sure that we give them 3 things, which is very basic, very important, that it can last them like forever. The first thing is pray.
Pray.
We teach them how to pray.
Okay.
We make sure they understand who are they praying to. Beriman pada siapa? Who are they beriman? Their faith is towards who? Allah. Yes. They need to understand that. The second thing is, of course, they need to work. Because once you become a Muslim, whatever happens, you still need to work for survival.
Yes.
The third thing is study. And these 3 basic things, and study also is fardu ain. Very basic. You need to understand fardu ain. If you do not understand fardu ain, ikra, it's very basic. And this is how we teach. And this is what we need to understand. And sometimes I always tell our brothers and sisters in, anywhere that I meet, who is doing da'wah, who's involved with majlis agama and so on, is that every mualaf or every human is totally different. Every human, Allah has created us differently. So do not give the methodology that you did with another person to this person.
You cannot create like a template
Yes.
of methodology.
Yes, you cannot copy and paste. Yeah, the asas you cannot go
Different
away.
people, different challenges.
Correct. Their challenges are different. They come from different part of the life, and
Yes.
some of them even probably they are illiterate. So should we say goodbye to them? Like, it's okay, you become a Muslim, okay, I confess you and that's it, goodbye. No. There are some people who are involved with drugs. Could we just tell them like goodbye? You know, of course the challenges comes to us as well.
The extra difficulties there.
Yes, we handle some of the cases like this. We give them time. We make sure that they recover and so on, right? So, but it is a process. But Allah has sampaikan kepada kita,
Yes.
and we try our best. So the supportive system must have, and the supportive system must also come from the community, which is the masjid. You know, the people. If you have a person next door who became a Muslim, please go and visit them. Do not tell like, oh, it's okay lah, tunggu lah. You know, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, if you have a neighbor who is a Muslim, right, who just became a Muslim, if it's a guy and you are a guy, please bring them together to masjid. You know, teach him.
Yeah.
You know, teach him the basic, you know, like for example, wudu. Don't tell me you don't know how to wudu, right? So teach
Exactly.
him, right?
Uh-huh.
Then pray, for example.
Even simple things.
Yeah, even pray. When I bring, if you see every day when I go out, right, I go and meet our new reverts, me and my team. They're in different places, scattered. So what I do is that I go, for example, I have like few brothers in Kajang, right? So I go there, I bring this brother out to pray, to Solat, Maghrib, Muslim Maghrib, because they are also working. So when I go and bring them, I tell them it's okay, you just follow me. You know, if they became a Muslim like a few days back, so I bring them to the masjid. I'll teach them how to wudu, you know, few times, because every time they are looking at you, they are learning and so on, right? And then when we go and pray, I'll tell them just follow me, no problem. You know, so of course the basic, you know, they need to know. For example, they need to know, you know, how many times to pray. It's 5 times to pray, right?
Yeah.
You know it because you've been a Muslim from birth, right? Like I know it because I've been a Muslim for 12 years, right? But they don't know. They just became a Muslim. You don't expect them to have everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's no like, you know, terus masuk pen drive, everything they know. No, you know.
It's as you mentioned just now, some of the, in the case they handle, some of the reverts were, for example, like 40 years old. So imagine, they've been 40 years old, they are familiar with another religion.
Correct.
Now they are changing their
Correct,
religion, right? So
correct.
it is something new to them.
Correct,
Because of course in the way how we practice the religion itself
Correct,
is different.
correct.
So we need to understand them.
Correct.
We need to imagine ourselves being in their position.
Correct. And I mean, you should be. I mean, if you have a Muslim or new Muslim, a mualaf, which is living around your circle, you know, it is actually a rizki for you. Really, I should say that. Why? Because, you know, Allah has given you the opportunity, you know, to bring them, you know, to guide them. You know, if you can't guide also, it's okay. If you know they are having some trouble financially or the family is having issues and all, if you can't handle also, it's okay. But do not just leave them abandoned or just don't leave them like
Can
so.
ignore them.
Jangan what they say, don't jangan buat something
Buat
that's
tak
a
tahu.
word. Buat tak tahu. Jangan buat tak tahu.
Buat tak tahu.
You know,
Ambil tahu.
Ambil tahu. So get to know. If you cannot help, then direct them to someone who can help.
Okay.
You know, that means go to zakat, go to majlis agama.
At least offer a guide.
Yeah.
Just help them like
Yes.
that.
And this they need. And this is their process of development. In their process of you know, from being a child as a Muslim, then for them to develop while they grow as a Muslim, you know, their iman is also will increase. Because if there is no people to guide them or support them, then probably their development after for many years, they're just being, as I said, they're just being a Muslim by name, but they don't understand about Islam.
Yeah.
They do not know what are the practices of Islam. So for them, if Ramadan comes, probably Ramadan is like, oh, people are starving. Probably they'll be thinking, semua puasa, okay, I go eat lah, And there are people who also do that. That they, for example, there are people who even in my career that I've met, that they also do not, they become a Muslim, they are not guided to change their IC. They should change their IC.
So they didn't know that they have to change their IC.
Yeah, if they don't change their IC, then, there's so many things might possibly happen.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if marriage-wise or also death. If death comes upon them, if Allah decide to bring them back, to jemput them, and when they pass away, probably the family also don't know that they become a Muslim, and they'll just criminate them, They're just going to, do the normal process of their religion, not as Muslim, So we need to guide. So there's so many. So in my organization, we already have like a checkbox,
like what to do.
Yeah, first you become a Muslim, okay, so he's already confessed the Shahada. Then next we register him. So the next thing we do is that make sure that you go and get his IC changed.
Or the proper documentation.
Yeah.
process.
The next thing is that make sure the person comes for class. And then of course they start praying. And then the understanding of praying. Do they know already? And then make sure that mengucap tu dia dah lancar dah. Very important. And also their fardu ain. Also their for example the Al-Fatihah. So every time, yes. So every time they come to class, the first thing is to ask them is to the recitation of Al-Fatihah. The first month. Then the second month different. So they already get used to it every single time. So Allahu Alam. So I think this will help because I think we need, end of the day, we need to have a supportive, we need to have a supportive community. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because currently, most of them, not everyone is like what you say. Buat tak tahu lah.
But and I remember listening to your story when you first revert to Islam, right? You said that you were at your lowest on that time. So on that time you have nothing. You have no support.
No support, yes.
No nothing. So imagine the difficulties that are being through. It's actually changing religion is not a small thing, I would say. I think one of the biggest changes could happen in your life.
Yes.
So at this point, they are very vulnerable.
Yes.
These rivers are very vulnerable. We don't know the challenges that they went through before they revert to Islam. So it's very important for us to help them. And I would say, usually what we call this as a first good impression, right? We want to share with them the first good impression to show them that Islam is a compassion, is a religion that's full of compassion, and that itself is actually, I would say, is a form of da'wah, right, Brother Roger?
Exactly.
The form of da'wah, and it excites this
Correct.
new reverts to learn more about
Yes.
Islam, about this very caring, about this very compassion religion. And as we are reaching the end of this conversation with the last 5 minutes, Brother Roger, what is your final advice to our listeners out there, especially those who have perhaps family members or neighbors that they know that they're reverts, but they don't know how to help them, how to guide them?
Okay. Alhamdulillah. I think the most important thing is, to firstly, if you know a revert, then please go and see them. And also, the other thing we always make a mistake, right, is that, if we want to dawah someone, right, we have to dawah ourselves first.
Dawah ourselves first.
Yeah, we need to have that. What I mean by dawah ourselves first is that we always think, and I always say this, I think you've heard me say this thousands of times, right? We always think with the ability that we have, we can do it. That is totally wrong. Probably we are following the way of the dunya. That we think that, with the ability that we have, the kudrat yang kita ada, we can do it.
Boleh ni.
Boleh, memang boleh. Tetapi you must understand, as a Muslim, you can do it, but it'll be better and much easier if you have Allah with you. So if you want to do a form of da'wah to anyone, what I mean by da'wah yourself is to always ask Allah to guide you first. Doesn't matter if you're going to meet a new Muslim. If you have a new Muslim, you want to guide, ask Allah to guide you first. Because you might be giving them the worldly advice. Besides the advice that Allah is going to guide you through. You get my point, sister?
I never come across with that point, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes when we guide people, right, especially our new reverts, you need to have Allah to guide you. Because it's not you, even though you have the knowledge, but if Allah didn't make it easy for you, if you do not ask Allah to guide you, you're just giving advice to them as though they are just like in a world kind of advice. Like, oh yeah, and that's why we do not reach them. And why we have not reached them, also people have told me before, this just sharing out of the thing before we end, right?
Yeah.
People have told me that many years back that, people who, for example, if you're doing some, like for example, a cat, right? A cat comes to you while you're eating and so on, right? And the cat doesn't come to everyone. You perasan tak?
Yeah.
He doesn't come. Probably he just passed by you. He doesn't come to you. Why? Because Allah is guiding the cat. You know that or not, sister? Because you are the chosen one. If the cat comes to you, you better feed it. Because Allah is giving something for you. Yeah, it's a rizki. It's a rizki. Same what I'm not comparing this to our reverts, right? I'm just saying that, you need to, if you have already come across a revert in your family, take this full opportunity. Let Allah guide you. Ask Allah. How to ask Allah is simple. Pray, ask Allah. Ya Allah, I'm going to meet this person. Please guide me, Ya Allah. Ameen. Please give me the right guidance. Please guide me the right ways that I should bring them. And then probably bring them to the masjid. The best thing to bring them is to the masjid. Guide them, bring them, and always remember, you don't need to be 24/7 with them,
Yeah.
Don't make it a mission of your life, which is good. But then some people will feel irritated lah. Imagine every minute, hey, how are you? Did you pergi solat tak hari ni? Kenapa tak pergi solat?
Then I feel annoyed.
Don't interrogate people.
Don't be a police.
Yeah, don't be a police. Don't interrogate people. Rather, in Subuh, for example, that brother is somewhere else. During Subuh, just give a reminder call. Hey bro, Assalamualaikum. Salam Subuh. How are you today? Are you up? Have you had your coffee already or not? Have you prayed? In the 2 rakaat ni, the morning prayer is so important for you, brother. MashaAllah, you're going to start your day. It'll be the best day today, brother. This is how you actually, give to people. Rather than you message them, dah solat ke belum ni? Kau tak solat lagi. Apa benda kau ni? So it's like you are kind of you are kind of judging them. At the same time, you are actually like making them feel like, alamak, kenapa? They are not afraid of Allah,
They're afraid of you.
They're afraid of you. So we want them to be, to be closer to Allah, and for them to, they need to understand, I have to pray because, Allah has given me this opportunity. I have to pray, and we are just the asbab. So as a asbab, don't become a police lah, don't interrogate them lah, dah puasa ke belum? Tak puasa ke hari ni? Oi,
nanti berdosa.
Berarti berdosa ni, masuk neraka ni, confirm you kena bakar ni. This kind of thing, I'm talking about the new reverts. The Muslims, I don't want to sentuh lah. For the reverts, you must understand their process of life. And there are reverts, sorry to add on, sister. There are reverts who do not practice. They probably didn't have the opportunity to practice. Probably once they become a Muslim, they are busy with the world. And probably they just, they're just working and so on, right? So do not forsake them. Do not just let them down, or do not put one eye on them. When they really want to come back to faith, it's our duty to guide them again. Do not say things like, kau dah lama 10 tahun dah masuk Islam, sekarang je nak belajar ke? Do not say that. So do not put that kind of judgment on them.
Yes.
We don't know Allah has given the hidayah, but now their process of tawfiq has started. For all of us as well, the process of tawfiq, hidayah. We are actually going through the tawfiq.
Yeah.
Hidayah tawfiq, right? Correct, huh? Tawfiq hidayah or
Yeah,
hidayah?
Taufiq.
Yeah, tawfiq.
Taufiq Daya.
Yeah, Tawfiq Hidayah. It always comes to me the name of Hidayah. I have a friend named Hidayah.
Taufiq and Hidayah.
Yes, Tawfiq and Hidayah.
Masya
So
Allah.
once you have the Hidayah, now your process is, the Tawheed. You are going through a process of Tawheed. That was the word I was wanted to say. Tawheed.
Taufiq.
Which means untuk mengesakan Allah. That means everything in your life is only Allah. You will come to that point that you will think that you will know that everything I'm doing from the time I wake up right up to the end of the day, it's only for Allah. And Allah has given to me this, So this is the tawfiq lah. So people have got the hidayah, but they are now in the process of tawheed. Allahu Alam.
MashaAllah, I personally learned a lot from you today, Brother Roger, especially on the difficulties and challenges that being faced by Reverts out there. So we hope that today's sharing by Brother Roger can be an eye-opening to you, especially on the challenges that they are being through and why we shouldn't be judging towards
Correct.
people because we don't know what they are currently going through right now in life. And as we mentioned in the interview just now, that every people face different challenges.
Correct.
Right?
Correct,
So
correct.
it is not us to judge them, but
Correct.
it is for us to help them and guide them.
Agree.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
So to our dear listeners, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Brother Roger, you can leave it on the comment section of this airing on Facebook and YouTube. Or you can simply leave us a WhatsApp at 011-29004004. And again, Brother Roger, thank you very much for being with us. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And to our dear listeners, thank you very much for listening to us. Don't forget to tune in to us next week for more conversation. So stay tuned to IKIM FM, Inspirasi Utama